Welcome to Module 2. This week our topic is the first 2 years. Before we dive into our study, I want to take a step back and look at the big picture. Here is what God says about children. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Children are our inheritance from God. To put that statement in perspective, think about the things we inherit from our earthly fathers. If we're fortunate, we might inherit houses and land, money, antiques, stocks, bonds, gold, or silver. What do all these things have in common? They are all valuable. They're useful. They're like treasure. That is the perspective of an inheritor, the one who receives the inheritance. But what if you are the one who is the giver? Clearly, you pass on only those things that are most valuable to you. No one includes dirty socks, broken toasters, or other worthless things in their will. Only what is most precious to the giver is passed down to one's heirs. That is how God wants us to see our children. They are incredibly precious, valued, and cherished to Him. They are a gift He gives to us. With that in mind, let's learn all we can about the first 2 years of life so we can understand how best to care for this incredible gift. During the first 2 years, we see that growth progresses at an incredible rate. Most children quadruple their birth weight and add about 12 inches to their height by the time they turn 2. During this time, the brain is also growing rapidly. Parents and caregivers facilitate brain growth through interaction and exposing the baby to a variety of sights, sounds, and experiences. For many years, it was believed that cognitive development was limited in the first 2 years of life. However, baby labs at many universities have devised ingenious methods of testing the cognitive skills of preverbal infants. As a result, we've learned that babies are quite intelligent and thoughtful little people. A major point of emphasis in social and emotional development during the first 2 years is the attachment bond a baby forms with caregivers. Secure attachment in these early years is critically important to a child's physical, cognitive, social, emotional, and spiritual health throughout life. Also, during this time, emotional expression develops and early clues to one's temperament and personality become evident. Spiritual development has largely been ignored in developmental science, but some interesting theories exist in terms of spiritual awareness and growth during the first 2 years of life. I will highlight 2 of them here. The first is linked to Erikson's psychosocial theory. His theory states that the crisis faced in infancy is trust versus mistrust. Some believe that if a child is cared for by attentive, responsive parents, he or she will develop the ability to trust others. Later, this trusting relationship can be transferred to God. A second concept that is very interesting involves implicit memories. Implicit memories are experiential rather than verbal. In other words, we remember the feelings rather than the words. If infants associate positive feelings and experiences with faith activities such as prayer, church attendance, Bible reading, and singing, they are more likely to enjoy and be drawn to these activities later in life. So what is the takeaway here? Children are important. We need to do all we can to equip them for this journey of life. Before we go, I'd like to share a verse with you. 1 Samuel 1:27. I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him. May we always remember what an amazing, precious gift we have been given. So that is this week in a nutshell. Be sure to read and study all that is outlined in this module so you will have the information you need about this important stage of life. God bless you this week in your studies.